Now, we need to download the MySQL database server. So, to download it from their official website according to your operating system. In my case, since I am using Windows OS, I am downloading the MSI installer. Let me share an important information with you. Usually, in most cases, PostgresQL database is used with Django projects because it is quite robust among open-source RDMS database servers, which is very close to Oracle Database Server. Since Django is an OMR-based web framework, as I said before, it can handle any database server. There is no need to know any separate configuration or language. So whether it is RDMS or NoSQL database server, you can follow the normal process of Django for any of them. I will share with you a complete tutorial using Docker with Django, PostgreSQL, and React very soon. The tutorial will definitely be based on a real-life project, and the tutorial will be very useful for your professional work. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, so that you get your updates as soon as the tutorial is uploaded. Now, let's get back to our work. I am not showing installing MySQL server here because I believe we can all do it. Since we are using MySQL database server, we need to update the databases section in our settings.py file. Here we see that the SQLite configuration is already set, as it is the default setting for the Django framework. Let's check the db.sqlite file. Because you must remember that we created a super admin user in the last tutorial. So, let's check that the super user is actually here or not. We should take a look at this because the default SQLite was configured until the last tutorial. And now we will shift to MySQL. Here we select the auth user table. Yes, look, our super user is here. Just remember the email address here, because in the next step we are going to connect to MySQL database, and that will clear up some confusion for us. Okay, now let's connect to the MySQL server. To do that, we need to update the databases section of our settings.py file. So, first let's define MySQL as our engine. Now let's input the database name. Although we haven't created this database on the MySQL server yet, just make sure that the database server is also running when you run this project. Now enter the database username. I am using the default username root here, but this username should not be used in production environment. And now enter the password. Here, I have kept the password the same as the username, but again I say that it should not be used in a production environment like this. Now, enter the host name. Since this is my local PC, I will enter localhost here. Here, remember, the key and the value must be placed inside the invited comma and must end with a comma. Finally, enter the port. Here the default port of MySQL server is 3306.